Student must feel comfortable, let it, student must feel comfortable and safe by their environment, regardless of the individual diversity. The teacher should help them equally. And for the next, teacher must help their student to understand what they have to learn, why they should learn it, and how will they know that they have learned. The responsibility of the teacher as a facilitator of their student learning. They should impart knowledge that the student need to learn. And for the next, teacher must use a variety of teaching method. Teacher must utilize different instructional materials in line with an appropriate teaching method and also should be teaching style which can deliver the lesson more effectively. For the next, teacher must provide the student with enough opportunities to use the new knowledge and skills that they gain. Students should be given opportunities. And for the next one, teacher must provide the student with enough opportunities to use the new knowledge and skills that they gain. Students should be given opportunities to showcase the knowledge and skills that they gain. They can explore with new things, correct errors, and adjust their thinking. And for the next, teacher must help student bring each learning to a personal closure. Mayroon na ako patingin ng kay Shabay.
Hindi kasi tinitingnan ka para ka Hindi lang sila ganun si John Rose. Hindi galaw-galaw.
Yun pa rin.
Okay, 5,
Nagpe-flip.
6, 7, go. Naka-play yan ha.
Saan na nga ako? Well, for the next one, teacher must help student bring each learning to a personal closure that will make them aware of what they have learned. Next. The guidance of the teacher helps the student to be aware of what they have learned. And let's proceed to the shifting of outcome-based education from traditional to outcome-based education view. In traditional view, we have instruction which is focused on teaching, while in outcome-based education, which focus in learning or in a perceived knowledge. The second is inputs and resources. Teaching strategies, learning outcomes is the progress of the learning. And the third, the knowledge is transferred by the teacher because the outcome-based education is student-centered. The teacher-centered, and for the third one, knowledge is transferred.
For the third.
For the third, wait.
And for the next, knowledge is transferred by the teacher. Teacher-centered, the student only the receiver. While in outcome-based education, knowledge already exists in the minds of the learners. Student engagement in learning is in there. Next one is teacher dispenses knowledge. They serve as a dispenser of knowledge. And for the next one is teachers are designers of method. They are just the facilitator. And for the last one, teachers and students are independent and isolation. They do work separately, while in the outcome-based education, teacher and student work in team, which is the collaboration of both parties can be seen. Let's proceed to the assessment of learning outcomes in outcome-based education. Assessment in outcome-based education should also be guided by the 4 principles of outcome-based education, which are clarity of focus, designing backwards, high expectation, and expanded opportunity. Next. To be useful in outcome-based education system, assessment should be guided by the following principles. First principle, assessment procedure should be valid. Procedure and tools should actually Number 1, assessment procedure should be valid. Procedure and tools should be actually assess what one intends to test. Number 2, assessment procedure should be
Game na. 1, 2. Number 2.
and,
Check talaga si Jericho.
okay. Number 2, assessment procedure should be reliable. The results should be consistent. Number 3, assessment procedure should be fair. Number 2, assessment procedure should be reliable. It means that the results should be consistent. Number 3, assessment procedure should be fair. Regardless of the cultural background and other factors should not influence in assessment procedure. Number 4, assessment should reflect the knowledge and skills that are important to the student. And for the number 5, assessment should tell both the teachers and the student how students are progressing. For the number 6, assessment should support every student opportunity to learn new things that are important. For number 7, assessment should allow individuality or uniqueness to be demonstrated. And for the last one, assessment should be comprehensive to cover a wide range of learning outcomes. So let's proceed to the learner's responsibility for learning. In outcome-based education, students are responsible for their own learning and progress. Nobody can learn for the learner. It is only the learner himself or herself who can drive himself or herself to learn. Thus, learning is a personal matter. Teachers can only facilitate that learning, define the learning outcomes to be achieved, and assist the student to achieve those outcomes. One of the great benefits of outcome-based education is that it makes a student aware of what they should be learning, why they are learning it, what they are actually learning, and what they should do when they are learning. Outcome-based education is focused in a student-centered approach. Therefore, they should take responsibility for the progress of their own learning. The willingness of the learner to learn should always be present to be able to achieve the learning outcomes. Without the student willingness, the teachers seem like wasting their effort and time. Through the outcome-based education, students tend to be aware on what they should be improved and what they knowledge, and they can apply their learnings after or in the future. To guide the student in outcome-based education learning, they should ask themselves at the following question. Text mo na. Yun din yun. And here are the question that the student should be answered. First, as a student, what do I have to learn? Number 2, as a student, why do I have to learn it? Number 3, as a student, what will I be doing while I am learning? Number 4, as a student, how will know that I am learning what I should be learning? Number 5, as a student, will I have any say in what learn? Number 6, as a student, how will I be assessed? That is for the lesson 1. Thank you for listening.